Hey guys, I ordered a bunch of mobile gaming devices on Wish. This is the first one. It has arrived. I don't know much about it. I have not tested it, and as you can see, it is from China, obviously. Wish, and everything on the box for the most part is in Chinese. Let's open this up, see what's inside. Let's hook this up to my cell phone and test it and see exactly what it's capable of doing. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Reviews by This Guy. On this episode, we're taking a look at this, I guess it's the MV, I don't know what the name is, all in Chinese. It came from Wish. It's supposed to be a mobile attachment. It acts as a controller and utilizes the touchscreen controls. Before we get into this guy, I'd like to say don't forget to let me spend my money so you don't waste yours by hitting that subscribe button. And if you'd like to keep informed of new videos I am uploading on the We Deem channel, don't forget to click that bell. Now, let's get into this mobile controller. I guess this is a gaming controller, and as I said, it utilizes the touchscreen controls. Honestly, I don't know what to say about it. I just ordered a bunch of them and decided to do separate videos on them. This is the first one to arrive. I'd like to first take a look at the writing on here. Obviously, most of it's in Chinese. You have some English here. The first step is to click the settings in, I guess that's how you spell menu. That's supposed to be menu. That's not how you spell menu. Let's go on. Step 2, click the operation setting and open the user-defined panel. Honestly, reading this, I don't even know what that means, any of it. So this is going to be interesting. Step 3, move the shooting and aim to the correct superposition, whatever that is. Step 4, install the handle and suck. You want to suck the left and right sucker of the handle into the corresponding icon position on the phone screen. I swear to God, the Chinese, they have a way with English. And then there's this down here, some remarks. I guess it's some do's and don'ts. It says, 1, please keep the silicone sucker clean. Keep the phone screen clean. While the game fully loading, the screen need to be lights off and lights up by manual operation for some phones. Then the device could be running well. Yeah. That's great. This is Chinese. Chinese. There's not going to be much in this box. The box itself is cheap. It will probably more than likely explain the quality of the device itself. And there you go. I don't know where this goes. I'm gonna say it looks like it's snapped off. I feel like both of them are snapped off. It might already be broken. I don't even know where these guys went. I'm guessing this is the analog stick. It is extremely cheap. I don't remember how much this guy cost. I will put that up on the screen. I don't think it was any more than $4 or $5. If it was more, it's definitely not worth it. This is supposed to be the analog stick as well too, and it's on some sort of metal thing. That does not look like that's going to work well at all. It does push forward to try to account for the thickness of your phone. This one might work better, and I guess maybe I can fit that in there in replace of this one, and we will go ahead and test that one as well. So far, Alright, well, I got the controller connected here. This is how it connects to your phone. Obviously, you've seen it was 2 separate pieces. On the back here, on the top, you have trigger buttons. There are just 2 trigger buttons. There is not 4. There's not bumper. Well, those technically are, I guess, bumper. I don't know if you would call them trigger or bumpers, but they are there. I'm trying to set up the controls here. Those trigger buttons are just, they're nice and clicky. They have a nice tactile sound, but they're just a thin piece of metal here, as you can see. But they are real clicky. Apparently they connect somehow with this wired suction thing which is why they kept calling it a sucker on the box there. Now this thing goes back and forth, so you can set it up here. As you can see, I moved the scope up here. That's one thing that's a problem. As you can see there, this thing is right on top of the volume controls, so that's going to keep coming up. The edges here do stick out here. I mean, the overall, the design of it, it's not very comfortable. We're going to go ahead and try to stick that on there. And that's on there. That's going to get annoying. Normally, this is supposed to be the scope. And maybe, well, actually, technically, this should be the scope. And this one back here should be the fire button. So let's take this off. Let's go ahead, let's move the scope. Oh, that's the volume controls. Let's go ahead, move the scope here. Let's put this suction on here. We'll get that there. Now, I don't know if that's going to work, but we're definitely going to try it. As you can see, when I press it, those do light up. Go ahead, you can see the square going right there. Alright, here we are in the game. Let's see if this actually, it's definitely moving. It'd be nice to have another analog stick. That's punching by hitting the trigger button up here. Be nice to get a gun and see how that works. As you can see, it is pretty responsive. Not bad for a cheap Chinese Wish controller. As you can see, the fire button's working. Oh, I suck. I don't even know where the shots are coming from.
Yeah, you suck.
Yeah, shut up. These suctions come up all the time. I don't know if I have to clean the damn screen, but it's getting annoying. As you can see, this MV Chinese, I guess, gamepad adapter actually does work. I mean, it seems to be really or pretty responsive. It would have been kind of cool to have two analog sticks. But I do have to say that these suction pads, they just keep coming off. Now, granted, I did not clean the screen as they suggested, so that might be the reason why it's coming off. But in PUBG, it's working pretty good. My aim is on it, like I said, really responsive. The triggers on the back, they actually work fairly well for two thin pieces of metal. I don't have the control set right, so I wasn't able to use the scope, so I have to reconfigure that later. Now, also, I will point out that I do like the stationary red analog stick more than that one that was hanging off a piece of metal, somewhat springy. I think that one was annoying and wouldn't stay on the screen. At least this red one, like I said, is stationary, so it works a lot better. Again. What the? Okay, what are my final thoughts? Well, if you're looking for an alternative to those touchscreen controls, this is definitely an option. It's cheap, it's affordable. The quality of it's not great, but it didn't cost all that much, so that's to be expected. It does work really well. It is really responsive. I suggest using the red stationary analog stick. And also, if you could get those darn suction cups to stay. My right one stayed, but the left one kept coming off. I don't know what the deal was with that. It probably was because I didn't clean the screen, so that might be a fix. But overall, great controller, great adapter, worked really well, great gaming experience. If you have any questions about this, please leave it in the comments below. If I did not showcase anything in this video that you'd like to see, please leave those in the comments down below as well. If you liked what was contained in this video, please hit the thumbs up. You can always hit the thumbs down if you thought it sucked. And please, if you found the video to be of some sort of value, consider sharing it amongst your friends and the rest of your social media. And as always, don't forget to let me spend my money on cheap stuff like this and expensive stuff so you don't waste yours by hitting the subscribe button.